Catechism questions for older kids are digging further into prayer. And I love this first question for this section here, question 144. Do I have to pray even when I don't feel like it? The answer is a resounding yes, right? Anything in life worth doing is worth doing even when we don't feel like it. Eating your vegetables, exercising, going to bed at a reasonable time, doing your homework, finishing that project for work while you're at work instead of goofing off at work and having to do the project at home or staying late, right? Anything worth doing is worth doing even when you don't feel like it, including prayer. Sometimes we don't feel like praying. Sometimes we don't feel like going to mass. Sometimes we don't feel like doing our Lenten routines and things like that, right? That's when it's most important to do it because that's how you make the habit a habit. And it's a good kind of habit, right? A virtue is a positive habit, and a vice is a negative habit. So praying is a good thing. We want to make it a habit. We want to do it even when we don't feel like it. And sometimes we don't feel like it. Sometimes I don't feel like it either. But it's important to do it. Some ways to help us do that is to just schedule it into your day. I don't know if you have Echo Dots at home or whatever the Google Homes, all these sorts of things. In my home, we use these to schedule prayer times. Every morning, there's an alarm, there's a reminder that goes off and says, "I'm reminding you, it's time for morning prayer." And every evening before bed, there's a reminder that goes off, "I'm reminding you, it's time for evening prayer." Often we need those reminders in my house because we're moving on with the day, we're moving on, we're trying to get to bedtime, we're in the middle of a game, whatever. So it's a great reminder to just stop for a second and say a prayer together, even when we don't want to. It can be simple, right? And then there's some awesome suggestions here uh, in question 145 under how can I pray. It gives you different prayer postures that you might want to try. As a family, it might feel ridiculous, all prostrating on the living room floor. You could try it, but I would certainly recommend doing these privately, right? See what happens when you stand with your hands open and you pray. Do you feel any different? See what happens if you sit with your hands folded, if you kneel, if you lay on the floor, if you stand with your arms stretched out, right? Try different prayer postures and see if that doesn't help you experience God in prayer, especially when you don't feel like it, because it might help out, right? But the important thing is to make prayer a habit, make it a regular thing in your life. Pick a time, commit to it, and do it. That's how you build virtue in your life.